You know how much time you took from me, bro? You have no idea. It's good to be here. First and foremost, again, I'm going to say, welcome back to Abbas. It's been a long time, brother. It's good to see you, okay? So big round of applause for Abbas, please. And also, again, a big round of applause for the reason that we are here tonight. The volunteers who have dedicated themselves so much. And let's be honest, everything is running because of them. Big round of applause for them too. Please. I think he told me this was going to be okay, but we're going to talk later. These last few days, I have been reminiscing about my life, about the experiences. Yeah, it's hilarious. I've been reminiscing about the experiences that I had, and I think in life, everybody sometimes what they do is they look back, they think about all the things that they did, the experiences that they had that shaped them, right? In my case, I also think about the people that came in my life and that left my life. उसी के सिलसिले में 4 मिसरें हैं। मुलाहिज़ा फरमाइए। मैं साहिलों पे रहूं फिर भी मुझको प्यास रहे। मैं साहिलों पे रहूं फिर भी मुझको प्यास रहे। तेरे दिल की बद्दुआ थी कोई ना मेरे पास रहे। मगर मैं फिर भी दुआ करता हूँ तहे दिल से। मगर मैं फिर भी दुआ करता हूँ तहे दिल से। खुदा करे तेरे साथ घर में तेरी सास रहे। अब पिछली बार जब मैंने जब कतल मैंने पेश किया था, बहुत सारे लोग जब थे तो कुछ आंटियां थी, उन्होंने इस बात पे एतराज किया और बड़ी मेरी क्लास ली उन्होंने, और उन्होंने कहा बेटा ये अच्छी बात नहीं है जो आपने की है, आपको सास के हक के बारे में भी कुछ कहना चाहिए। 4 मिसरे उनके लिए हैं। फकत एक शेर था, बिग रिस्क। फकत एक शेर था मैंने सुनाया सास के बारे। फकत एक शेर था मैंने सुनाया सास के बारे। फकत एक शेर था मैंने सुनाया सास के बारे। गलत फहमी इतनी हुई कि मेरी क्लासें हैं। मुझे सास के रिश्ते से खुद इतनी अकीदत है, मेरी जाती तमन्ना है मेरी 2-3 सासें।
आज घर नहीं जाना।
ये जो अभी बात की है, I was very foolish क्योंकि right now my wife is not here, so I can say
watching online।
लेकिन मुझे शक ये पड़ रहा है रिकॉर्डिंग आज रात को फोन जरूर आएगा कोई ना कोई किसी। लोही तुमने सुना सलमान का क्या पता है? I've been married for about 7, 8, I think 9 years now. I can't. And a lot of experiences have happened. And I'm sure, look, there are people out there who are married, who are far more experienced in this and have more, that know what's going on. I'm still kind of a rookie, right? But just out of a show of hands, and I'm maybe going to ask this to my sisters, how many of you watch Urdu dramas, those Pakistani dramas? Raise your hand. Yeah, great, yeah. Cool. आप लोगों की वजह से जिंदगी आजाद में हो गई है। My wife is a big fan, and they have these really depressing names when it comes to these dramas like हम सब मर जाएंगे।
Zakham.
I used to watch this one with what was it called, Dusri Bibi, and I was getting into it, and then my wife put a stop to that real quick.
सास भी कभी बहू थी।
I get home one day from work, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, And my wife is sitting down, glued to the TV. I put my stuff down, and my wife says, Salman, jaldi aaye, the best part is about to come up. And I sit down, and I say, what's going to happen? And she says, you see this girl right there? You do ladki dekh rahe hain? And I go, huh? Kehti hai, she's about to poison her husband and his entire family. Now let me make this very clear, okay? I had no problem with this particular scene. Okay? What was disturbing was the level of enthusiasm that my wife had for this particular scene. I'm sitting there, I'm watching this, and then after the show was done, and mind you, you can't find out if they died or not until the next episode. My wife says to me, I asked my wife, I said, how is she going to kill all these people? And my wife says to me, unke khane mein zehar nahi jati. There was about like 10 people in that scene, right? And after it was done, the show was over. My wife says to me, you know what, Salman, you've had a long day. Chalo maine khana pakaya. और फिर लोग मुझे पूछते हैं, यार देखो कितने पतले क्यों? Marriage is a big thing, right? A lot of kids who are now growing up, they want to get married. And you know, for us as Muslim, right, there are certain rules and regulations. Kuch aqeede hote hain, there's some halal ways of doing things, right? And with that comes halal pickup lines, and some of these things are fantastic. They get very creative with it. Now, the thing is that if you cross a mean Muslim sister, the one that you do not want to cross, they will answer you back and set you in your place in less than a second. I had a friend of mine saw a nice, beautiful hijabi girl. Hey, you are hot. Yeah, so is Jahannam. One of my friends walking down sees a nice Shia girl. Yo, Shiite? She must be Shiite, man, because she aight, bro. Hey, sister, how are you? You know, I know we're allowed to have 4, but that's not necessary because you are a 10. The best one I heard was, "Aap mujhe apna number de dijiyega taaki main fajr ki namaz ke liye aapko uthau." Times are very different, folks. We are living in a very, very different time. You all know that. There's a lot of things to be scared about out there. In my time, and I can speak for myself, when you were looking for a girl, and what you would do is that usually हमारे जो बुजुर्ग थे, जब हमें कोई लड़की पसंद थी तो पहले हम उसकी हिस्ट्री लेते थे through a third party, right? कि पता करो, कैसी औरत है, what type of woman is she, right? That was then. Now it's a little bit different. Okay? Now times are such where you have to sit down and figure out, has she always been a woman her entire life? Stupid boy, we are now living. Doesn't get any better than that. Very different times, very different. I remember growing up, I always thought that God hated me. My mom, God rest her soul, I remember when she used to call me, she was like, "Beta, come downstairs!" And I was like, "Acha, aa raha hu." Now, I would never go right away. I would take about maybe 3-4 minutes before I went downstairs. And then I'm running downstairs and I'm overcompensating for the time that I wasn't there. I fall, I bang my head on the coffee table, and my mother says to me, Dekha, Allah did that. Everything is my fault. I remember my dad's a diabetic. I remember one time I asked my mother, I said, "Mom, how did Dad get diabetes?" Because of you guys. I've also realized growing up in this community, I love this community, I really do. despite the ups and downs, this is my family. You know, I come from a small khandan. This is my family here. Now, Ramadan just passed, right? And sometimes you overhear conversations. Sometimes I hear my sisters in, you'll hear conversations every once in a while. Now, what I have realized is that in our language, Hindi, Urdu, whatever, we can get away with saying things that we probably could not say to someone who speaks English. I'll give you an example, okay? Standing outside, I see one friend seeing another friend after a long time. Bano, kya haal hai? Kaise ho yaar? Kafi dinon baad mulaqat ho rahi hai. Moti ho gayi ho? English translation. Hey Bano, how you doing? Long time no see. Man, you got fat. You know? It's true. Does it make any sense? You can't say that to somebody if you go, hey, you got fat, man. It'll work. You know? My mother had a very efficient way. She used to, when she wanted to let me know that she was angry with me, she would say what I just said and add 2 words at the end of that sentence. And those 2 words were, ke bache, for example. Ammi, मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ। बाहर जा रहा हूँ तो बच्चे। अम्मी मैं देर से आ जाऊँगा। देर से आ जाऊँगा बच्चे। I remember one time हमारे घर एक मेहमान आ रहे थे अब्दुल अंकल मैंने अम्मी को कहा अम्मी अब्दुल अंकल आ गए she goes अब्दुल अंकल के बच्चे I look weird I'm like what does that mean I can't tell you how many times I've been called pagal ke bachche by my father which makes absolutely no sense at all. Pagal ke bachche, English translation, you are the son of a stupid man. Makes no sense. I remember one time I wanted to catch my dad. I wanted to go jawab dena chahta tha, and I was ready for it. And God says to me, Pagal ke bachche, and I said, Beta kiska hu? I tried to knock some sense into him. The sense into him happened, but it was with the size 9 bata chappal. You know? It is what it is, man. Growing up in this community, now we have Pakistani, we have Indian, we have Iranian, there's a whole mosaic here, right? Whether you're Pakistani, whether you're Indian, I'm not going to get into all logistics, I'm sure people have their opinions about this, right? But we are all one, hum sab ek hain. Aaftab uncle, kya main galat keh raha hu? मैं बिल्कुल गलत कह रहा हूँ 100% wrong उसमें but there are some differences थोड़ी सी बारीकियाँ हैं there's some differences I'll give you an example this is I don't know if anyone's picked up on this before but if you happen to get a Pakistani man pissed off okay अगर आपकी वजह से उसको कुछ नुकसान पहुँचा है उसको total loss हो गया तो वो आपके मुंह पे कहेगा कि तूने मेरी जिंदगी हराम कर दी मैं कहीं का नहीं रहा अल्लाह करे तू मरे he will tell you all those things right Indian guy is a little bit different total loss हो जाए कंगाल हो जाए वो आदमी वो सिर्फ ये कहेगा अरे भाई हम तो गुलाब लेने आए थे आपने तो पूरा बोला सही हमें क्या किया My father is from Pakistan, and I remember, his English is a second language for him. And I remember once we went to a slaughterhouse in Brooklyn. I think it was Eid. I think it was Bakra Eid. It had to have been because we went to a slaughterhouse. That's what I'm assuming it was Bakra Eid. And we go there, and we went there for Qurbani, so they had all these goats and sheep over there. And they were bringing it, so that we can take a look at it and do our Qurbani and whatever. My father is a retired veterinarian. So when they brought the sheep over, my father took an examination first. And now, for those that don't know, I'm sure you do, maybe you don't, but when we do Qurbani, you have to make sure that the animal is not hurt, right? There's no wound on it, stuff like that. So my father was checking. And my father says, stop, 1 second, there's one right here, this animal is hurt. You cannot use this one. And the guy, who was an Arab-speaking guy, and English was a second language for him, says, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about, okay? Now the thing is that when you see two people where English is not their first language, and they start arguing with each other, it is the most hilarious thing ever. And my father tries to tell him, look on this right hind leg right over here, there's an infection that is coming out with the thromboxins and all this platelets and everything else. And the guy says, how do you know that? And my father says to him, he said, hey, don't lie to me, man, I'm a veterinarian. And the Arab guy, I swear to God, looks back at my father and says, if you are a vegetarian, you don't need to be here in the first place. It's tricky, man. And then people say, well, why have problems? Why did you turn out the way you were? Because these kind of things. I remember I went on a flight. I was sitting down with a bunch of friends, and the plane hadn't taken off yet. About 7, 8 of us, Pakistani Indian friends, and we're taking a picture. And one of my friends, he says, "Oh man, you photobombed me!" Now, there's certain words you don't say on the plane, right? Maybe other people can get away with it. We cannot get away with it, okay? And he says, "You photobombed me." The interesting thing is, about maybe 20 minutes later, we had another picture taken of us, but it was in the TSA office. We were escorted right off that plane, you know? And nowadays, you all know, everything is so politically driven. So much talking about racism and whatever, you're black, you're white, whatever. Insan with that. There's one human family. I think we've lost sight of that, right? But if you go to work, you'll see the white people sitting together, you see the black people sitting together, you see a few others sitting together. And just by chance once, I remember I went to a couple of my white friends. I said, "Hey man, what are you guys talking about?" He goes, "Black people." Then I happened to go to my black friends and say, "Yo, what are you guys talking about?" He goes, "White people." Muslims are the best if you go to them. "Hey yo, what are you guys talking about?" "Muslims." You know? Never tell your Muslim friend any good news. Never. Don't ever do it, folks. I just had a White Castle fish sandwich. It was the best sandwich I ever had, and he told me, "Do you know they fried in the other stuff too?" Lanata, bro. I had I just thought about a joke. I just remembered a joke if you guys want to hear a joke. There's an old couple, and about 80 years old. And the 80-year-old woman and husband are in the grocery store, they're shopping. And the old lady gets arrested for stealing, okay? When they go in front of the judge says, "What did you steal?" The 80-year-old woman replies, "I stole a can of peaches." Says, "Okay, a can of peaches, that's 6 days, aapko 6 din, aapko 6 peaches liye, to 6 din aap jail mein rahe." Her husband, Buddha, struggles and gets up, and he looks at the judge and he says, "Your Honor, ye aapko batana bhul gayi hai. Isne ek murder ka can bhi chori kiya." I like that, bro. I always like that. एक और लतीफ़ा याद आ रहा है. Because Russia is in the news nowadays, right? Russia का हिरन खो गया. Russia का हिरन खो गया. अब सारी दुनिया की पुलिस उन्होंने बुलाई ताकि ये हिरन जाके वो ढूंढे. American police आई. जापानीज पुलिस आई, बांग्लादेशी पुलिस आई, पाकिस्तानी पुलिस आई, सब आई। सबसे पहले हिरन को देखने के लिए बांग्लादेशी पुलिस जंगल में गई। 1 घंटे बाद बाहर आ गए कि हम अंदर नहीं जा सकता, जानवर हमको देख के हंस रहा है। फिर जापानीज पुलिस अंदर गई, 1 घंटे के बाद बाहर आ गई, कहने नो वी कैन नॉट फाइंड नो। उसके बाद अमेरिकन पुलिस अंदर गई, आधे घंटे के बाद बाहर आ गई, कहती है आई एम सॉरी डियर, इट इज नॉट हियर। किसी को हिरन नहीं मिला। पाकिस्तानी पुलिस के 10 मिनट के बाद बाहर आ गई हाथी को लेकर। हाथी कहता आ रहा हूँ कि हाँ मैं हिरन हूँ। मैंने कहते भाई मैं हिरन हूँ, खुदा की कसम मैं कह रहा हूँ कि मैं ही हिरन हूँ। I had a friend of mine, he just bought a new car. Really nice car, like one of those Lexuses and whatever, and he wanted to take his father for the first ride in that car as a way to show him appreciation, right? As a respect. Right? I happened to be there that day. I'm sitting in the back seat. His father sits in the passenger seat. My buddy is driving the car. Turns on the GPS, and that woman starts talking. Now, the father, who was a little bit old school, very old-fashioned, traditional, he says, no, this woman cannot talk, she's not mahram. And we try to convince him that, look, this is what it is, it's not a real person, and he was adamant about the fact of, no, you have to get rid of this. So, he reprograms that voice and gets some other voice. I hadn't seen him maybe a month later I see him. He said, yeah, come on, man, let's go. I'll take you out somewhere. I said, okay, fine. I got in the car. GPS voice goes on. I swear to God, it sounded exactly like Amar Nakshwan. Driving down the street, all of a sudden I hear, in 3/4 of a mile, make a left turn into I swear to God, all I was waiting for that GPS to say was, with your loudest of salawat. It's crazy, man. You know, it is a crazy time, but to be part of a community where you have people that you can go to in times of need, where you can enjoy a few laughs with each other. I think that is one of the greatest blessings. And I am so grateful to have been here tonight. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.